just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back. Appreciate you joining us. We are live today, eSIM Studios YouTube channel. It is Friday, May 29th, 2026. Hope everybody had a wonderful week, rolling into the weekend. And yesterday, I had to get out of our live stream rather quick. Yeah, well, not quick, but I had a hard out, meaning I had to get off at a certain time, but just reminded myself or ourselves yesterday just how freaking expensive it is to go to the movies. So my wife, my daughter, and I went to go see the new Mandalorian movie. What is it? The new, Star Wars. Sorry, I'm not. It's pretty good. I will admit, but golly, is it expensive. It was for 3 people. Now this is tickets, popcorn, candy, drinks, a little bit of everything, right? Look, we haven't been to the movie in years, and this is the, every now and then you're like, I just want to get out of the house and do something. Well, I'm like, all right, well, screw it, let's just go to the movies. Haven't been there in years. I think we stopped going to the movies when COVID hit, so we're talking like 6 years. So we're like, screw it, we'll go to the movie. We pre-bought tickets early on the Regal Cinema app or whatever. You can, which we did before we stopped going, but now you can add popcorn, drinks, candy on the app as well, pre-order everything. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And my wife goes to check out, she's like, it's $121. I'm like, $121 for 3 people? Are you kidding? Like, all right, whatever. Not make a big deal out of it, I was like, whatever, no, that's fine. It's not, we don't do it all the time. It's just something to go do, right? Because of course, you can go to a park for free, but we wanted to go actually do something, and you can spend a good, I don't know, I think it's that movie was like 2 hours and 12 minutes long, something like that. But the previews are insane. Like, you thought it was bad before 2020. You have I was expecting 15 minutes of previews because I was trying to time it out. I was like, should we go to dinner before or after? And we went after, but 34 minutes of previews. 34 minutes of previews. After, I was expecting like the 3rd or 4th one for it to all right, let's get the movie started. I looked at the time after like the 5th or the 6th one, and I was like, what the hell is going on? 34 minutes of previews? So I was like, holy crap. So, but it was, it was nice to get out and go do something. Oh, another thing, check this out. It was dead, completely dead. When you buy your tickets on the application, it'll show you what seats are available, what seats are open, kind of like stadium seating, like on if you buy tickets for sporting events on these applications, it'll show you like where you want to sit. There wasn't many there were a lot of seats available, and we pre-ordered them the day before. So I'm like, well, people just hadn't bought their tickets, it'll probably fill up once we get there. We walk inside the theater right as the previews start, and there were just 2 other parties, a total of 4 other people. A couple sitting down below us, and a dad and a son sitting, like 10 rows behind us. So you're talking about a total of 2, 4, 7 people including us in the entire theater. Like, how the hell do these theater companies stay in business? Now, the Spurs game was going on. I'm in San Antonio, so I'm assuming literally everybody was watching the Spurs game. So it's not really a fair judgment of how busy they are on a typical night. Now, it's a Thursday. It's not like tonight where it's a Friday night or Saturday night. It's like date night and stuff. But we were shocked. I thought it would be more than that. I thought it'd be maybe about half full, but we were like almost in not just that. I went to go get you get free refills like when you get a large popcorn. So in the middle of the movie, I get up to get it because we're sharing it between the 3 of us. I get up to go get some more popcorn. I walk out into the little lobby area where they got all the condiments and sodas and popcorn. I literally stood there for like 5 minutes. There was not even an employee behind the counter. I mean, it was dead. Like, I was like, is anybody here? I could not believe my experience yesterday. It was so weird. And it just makes me wonder. I'll probably need to go on a night when the Spurs aren't playing, because it was dead too. Like on the highway, I was like, damn, this is weird. Like, nobody's out. And it didn't hit me until like in the middle of the movie. I'm like, oh, wait, the Spurs are playing right now. So maybe we'll have to go for in fact, I think we already planned out to go see a movie next week. So maybe that'll be we'll have to go on a night that the Spurs are not playing to see how busy they are. But it just reminded me of, I'm shocked that these theaters are still in business. It is fun to go see a movie, right? But you absolutely cannot make that like a regular thing, because holy crap, is it expensive. I was like, $121. I was shocked. I thought it was going to be, maybe 80 or 90, because I think that's what it was last time we went. But remember, this was 6 years ago. Now with you got streaming and stuff, and obviously that's the future, right? I mean, if the theaters want to stay in business, they got to do something, because this is not cutting it. They actually have an IMAX theater there in over where we went to go see The Mandalorian. So I think we're going to try to check out an IMAX. Anyways, just thought I would fill you in with interesting findings yesterday. But before we get started, before I say hello to everybody, I want to let you know this YouTube channel is sponsored by Leica Mobile. They have a bunch of different plans, very affordable plans. The two that I pick out specifically, and I'm sure users that watch this channel can figure out which two I'm going to talk about, and we'll do it real quick, right? So 18 gigs of high-speed 5G data, 10 gigs of hotspot data, unlimited talk, unlimited text, over 100 countries around the world for only $7.50. That's a good deal. If you want to go unlimited data, unlimited talk, unlimited text, $18 per month. That's a fantastic deal. It beats, I think, almost every other deal out there. I know that $7.50 one, I think that's probably going to be the absolute cheapest you can find. It's been a couple months since I've looked around, but I couldn't find anything then, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to find anything now. So Leica Mobile, link down below in the video description, and IMEI Certified and IMEI Certified.com. They handle all the Blacklist reversals. If you have a phone, if you purchased a phone from somebody that was reported lost or stolen, IMEI Certified.com is the website, is the people you want to go see to get that phone fixed. They will convert and repair that blacklisted IMEI back to clean and clear, so you can use it again on whatever network that you had intended on using it on, right? It's happened to me a couple times, and shame on the person selling it. And it happens literally every single day. And little unknown fact, the carriers will not reverse that blacklist for you, even if it was considered lost. And like, oh, yo, I found it. Can you reverse it and put it to clean so I can use it again? No, it doesn't work like that. But IMEI Certified is tied in to the carrier servers. IMEI Certified is tied in to the manufacturer servers. They're tied into the GSMA database servers. They're like the digital bank for all IMEIs worldwide. And they convert it in there, and you get a certification, and you actually get a certificate of authenticity that it is clean. So link down below in the video description. Please go check them out. Okay, so how's it going, everybody? Y'all doing all right? Hello to you as well. Yes, hope everybody had a good week. That's why you go on Tuesdays. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, maybe it's just Thursday, and again, the Spurs are playing, so I'm like, that's kind of what I chalked it up to, because I literally I was shocked. I had a hard time believing they were still in business. I was thinking, damn, if it was like this all the time, there's no way they would be in business. So I was like, I'll give them a mulligan. I'll give them a pass on this time because it's a rare circumstances where they're in the Spurs are in the playoffs. It's a big deal here. It's the only pro team in town, so everybody is head over heels with Spurs stuff. So I'm assuming that's what it was due to. But yeah, go during the week, and I think you will be even on a non-event when stuff is not going on in town. During the week is key, because if you go now or Friday, I'm sure it's busy, right? I mean, people still go to the movies for dates and stuff, right? I mean, it's kind of gotten more expensive, but hey, if you want to kill a few hours, it's a good way to spend time with somebody and not have to talk. It is what it is, Go to a movie, you can just sit there instead of being forced to talk to somebody for 3 hours. Not that that's why we went. I've been on dates in the past where I'm like, let's just go to a movie so I don't have to talk to you. You finally made it. Yes, you did. What's going on, man? It was good. My wife was like, when we walked out of there, I was like, that was a good movie. I really like that. And she was like, she's a huge fan of that stuff. And I'm, I like it, but I don't like go to seek it out to go watch it like she does. And I thought it was good. She said, it was good. She gave it it was a good rating. It wasn't like, oh my God, that was awesome. I thought it was pretty good. Like out of 10, I'll probably give it like a 7, maybe an 8. I did not, usually when we go to movies, I fall asleep. Normally I'll get an elbow to the ribs every 30 minutes. I'm like, but not this time. And that's how you know it's a good movie. If I do not fall asleep, that's my little rating, my little secret rating that I know if it's a good movie or not is depending on if I fall asleep or how many times I fell asleep, right? This time, 0 times. It has action or stuff going on, basically the whole movie. Of course, there are some little dull moments, but they're setting up the next scene or like what's going to happen. So I thought it was pretty good. Like I would definitely go back and see it again. So I liked it. And I'm not even a fan of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Is the OnePlus 15 still your current daily driver? Will it be for a long time? So I actually switched it around a lot. So I actually put my SIM back in the S26 Ultra, but my main SIM, but that's just because I had to do some things behind the scene tied to that phone with my phone number. Like I had to verify a phone number for an app, but it was an app that I only have on that phone. So long story short, I switch it quite often. When I originally got the S26 Ultra, my SIM's been in there the entire time. And obviously taking it out, going to the OnePlus 15, I'm like, why didn't I switch out of this phone earlier? So that's what I'm going to do now. I think every week I'm going to just move it to a different phone. Boom, boom, boom. Move it to a different phone, move it to a different phone. I think I'll probably, it's in there now, my main SIM in the S26 Ultra. I'm probably going to take it out. I'll probably do it tomorrow, to be honest with you. I'm probably just going to forget, just grab my phone and go. But I'll probably do it tomorrow. In fact, I already have that on my reminders application to switch SIMs. I think I'm going to do that probably every Saturday, start a weekend, go into the week with something new. So I'm going to start recording comparisons, picture, video, and all that stuff starting this weekend. So we will have fresh content that I'm going to upload next week for sure. So right now, technically it's in the S26 Ultra, but I had to do that because, again, kind of some specific things where I had to put it in there. But with towers, Leica Mobile uses AT&T towers. So interestingly, AT&T launched a 5G network and a NSA non-stand. Is it a standalone? Yeah, AT&T just launched a 5G standalone network on the Release 18 3GPP release series. Long story short, cut out all the nerd talk. It's just like T-Mobile's brand new 5G network that I've been bragging about for the last few months. AT&T just launched their version of that 5G, obviously, I think last month. So Leica Mobile does use AT&T towers, so you should get pretty freaking good service. That reminds me, I think I'm actually going to, for Leica, I think I'm actually going to activate a SIM maybe on one of these devices and do like a little promo video with their network. So, in fact, I think I'm going to do that. I think I have it on my list of content to do this week. So you'll see. I'm going to test it out for everybody. So stay tuned and we shall find out. It's probably no. Hell no. So we didn't talk about that. They suffered, I'm sure you're aware of it. Well, maybe you're not, but I'm probably a data leak. So we all knew that was going to happen. And here's the thing with the Trump phone. You know, all the hackers out there are trying to hack that phone because, you know, probably want to throw dirt on his name, and hacking into the Trump phone is probably a pretty good bet to do that. So I will not be using one, honestly, probably because of that reason. Do you think they're going to update their phones? Because that's not even a rhetorical question. I'm honestly asking you. I don't believe they are. Now, by law, Google is going to hold them to those terms and services for them using Android on that device. So technically, if you want to get really technical, the terms of that service, Google does not require you to update your phone once a month. Google requires you to do at the very least 3 years of software updates and at the very least 4 years of security patches, right? Now and you have to do one software update. I think it's per 12 months, or is it 18 months? I think it's 18 months. And then they have to do one security patch every 4 months. So at the very least, the Trump phone will be updated software-wise, meaning moving from Android 16 to Android 17 once every year and a half. I think it's either 12 or 18 months, but screw it. We'll just say once a year for software. So you know it'll get at least one software update per year, and at least 3 security patches per year. Now, it'll be the latest security patch. They just don't do it every month. It'll just come every 4 months. But hackers know this, and they're going to be trying to get in. And what do you know? I think on the very first week it was released, people already got into the phone, or it was a data leak. I didn't honestly look into it. I should have. I saw the headlines, and I think I read the first paragraph or two, but I didn't see specifically what leaked out. I know it was customers' information, which is not good. So I won't be testing it. I mean, even if it wasn't tied to Trump, even if it was just some random phone company that came out and launched this phone, I probably still would not, to be honest with you. I don't typically test and or purchase budget or mid-range phones. I just don't. Sorry. For one thing, I know you can get a lot of views on some of these devices. I'm not really concerned about that. It's just they don't, it's, in fact, they just don't have any spunk. They just don't have any, I got to get that feeling, right? That phone feeling. The only mid-range and or budget phones I do purchase is the nothing phones and the CMF phones. Other than that, you won't see me with any budget and or mid-range phone. Now, Motorola does have some really cool mid-range phones coming out, and I was actually going to talk about that and or possibly try and grab one, which is the Motorola Edge 70 Pro. Pretty freaking cool. They spec it out for what you get. Again, for the money, it comes with really, really good specs for the money, right? I'm talking about like a $500 phone. It comes with a lot. So, but no, I'm not. Long story short, no, I'm not going to deal with that. No, not at all. OLED touchscreen. No, I'm not. I know T-Mobile is giving them away for free. They texted, or I got a notification or a text yesterday and today. They texted me 2 days in a row. They must know I like Motorola now. Get your free Motorola Razr Fold on us when you add a line. Like, nah, I'm good. I just can't do foldables. I don't know what it is. It's a me problem. It's me. It's not you. It's me. It's not the phone. I just can't do foldables for whatever reason. But I like flips, right? Y'all have seen me. I've had all the flips, and I think that's just because of the old-fashioned flips. It takes me back to being a teenager. Um, I don't know. I just can't do the fold. But nah, give me 1 second. I'm getting an important phone call. Hang on. I might be able to text, is what I'm saying. Give me a second. No, I'm not going to be getting one. I think the signature, fills my Motorola void that I have. It's a good phone, though. A lot of people have reached out and told me, hey, I got the device and it's really, really nice. So I'm excited for the ones that did get it. I know there's a lot of foldable fans out there, and it is a good phone, right? I'm not saying it's not. It's a fantastic phone. It's just, it's just me, for whatever reason. It only gets 2 years. Are you shitting me? 2 years? Ha! You know what it was? They made some deal under, not necessarily under the table, but they remember Google, Apple, Facebook, or Meta, all the social media companies donated money big time, not just to Trump. They donated to both parties, and that's a common thing. So whoever wins, they'll have a link to decision makers. So it's not just like they were supporting both sides. It's a very common thing, but I think here's what they did. I think they worked out a special deal, because there's no way no way that the minimum requirements is 2 years, because in fact I've seen the minimum requirements and I know for 100% fact it is not 2 years. They must have worked out some type of deal behind the scenes, or not necessarily behind the scenes, because everything has to be put in documentation. I bet they tweaked a special deal just for that phone. I guarantee you. That's crazy. Keeps getting deleted. Interesting. That's not me. I have no clue. I do have some moderators on here, but I have no clue. It could be YouTube as well. The YouTube app on my phone's been janky lately, so yeah, you have to expect that, right? I mean, and part of the reason that's why I like having non-foldables, because now the OnePlus 15, the Signature, they're IP69 rated. Like, you can essentially, that's pretty badass. Like, with a foldable, you have to be very, very delicate. And I've a fair number of mine have gotten broken before, so. Yes, clever. Let's get into the news, right? So, bring up a good point. I wonder if Apple's new foldable and Z Fold 8 will get that IP68 rating like the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, right? That is assuming it is launched on time, because remember, it might catch a delay because of manufacturing issues with the motherboard on there. But my guess, if you want my guess, I would say no. That's a very, very hard feat to achieve on a foldable, but they've been working on it for years in the background, so maybe they might surprise us. But if I had to bet, I would say no, it's not IP68 rated. So I was going to pull this up. Let me share my screen. We have, speaking of Apple, and thank you for bringing that up because I was just rambling on. Let me share my screen here. So the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max are right around the corner, as well as the Ultra. They're expected to be launching in September. Now remember, they're doing a staggered launch. The Pro and Pro Max in September, along with the new Fold. And then I think in next May or April, so essentially like a year from now, they're 6 months after the launch of the Pro and Pro Max for the 18 series. Then they're going to launch the base 18, 18 Plus, and 18 Air. But now we have new leaked confirmed photos of what colors that the Pro and Pro Max are going to be launching with. Now this will only, these are real photos, this is only going to be with the Pro and the Pro Max. I think I've heard rumors that the Ultra, the foldable, is only going to be in 2 colors. I think you're going to get a like a apple space gray, and I think a black. I think, and nothing's confirmed yet, but I think only 2 colors. But we got our first colors here of the 18 Pro and Pro Max. So let me, and I have pictures too, not just this article. So, and I got some other news that we're going to want to get into real quick. Check this out. So pretty interesting stuff. So dummy units of the upcoming Apple iPhone 18 Pro suggest new colors are headed our way if you're interested. There's a picture right there, including a new dark cherry, which is on the very right side. You got a dark gray, which is almost a black color, which is the second from the left. And then you also get the classic space gray, which is pretty common, right? A white or a silver white and a black. And then you get your 2 off colors in your dark cherry and your sky blue. Now I think the dark cherry is going to take the place of the cosmic orange. There will be no more orange colored iPhone this year, but they did have a navy blue that I was thinking the other day, I probably should have gotten this one, navy blue, because this thing looked cool at first, but then when you start using it, it's, it's kind of ugly. And the other thing that I don't like about it, it's two-toned. And I know there would be a color difference, but I don't know. It looked cool, but now that I, had it for a while, I'm like, it's kind of ugly. But they're replacing that dark navy blue with a new sky blue, which is on the left side that you see there. Now, those are the Pro Max models. They're going to be the same colors, same design, same look, same everything with the 18 Pro as well. So you'll get the dark cherry, silver, black, and blue on the 18 Pro as well. It's going to have, again, a new, well, not new, a two-tone rear design, as you see on this thing right here. And from what I understand, the iPhone 17 Pro series production, meaning in the warehouses when they make them, they've slowed down and almost come to a halt. So it looks like now that's kind of common, right? If they have a ton in the warehouse for sale, they'll stop making the iPhone 17s, and if they have to remanufacture them, they will at that time, at a given point, if they need to manufacture more. But it says that they're ramping up production of the 18 series. It's expected to feature, now I have specs and stuff that we're going to potentially get into, and it looks like we're going to see a price hike as well. So it's expected to feature, this new 18 Pro and Pro Max, a more expensive variable aperture camera setup. It's going to be a pretty good shooter if you're interested in photos, which I don't like iPhone photos. I think they come out looking orange, quite frankly, with some kind of weird tint on it. I know you can change the color profiles. I still change the color profiles, and I just don't like the way the iPhone camera pictures look. Still photos, videos are alright, but I just don't like iPhone photos. They just look off. Maybe I'm used to Android, but whatever. So we're going to get into this price increase, and I'm sure it has something to do with the memory, but I wanted to jump into this camera upgrade that I'm talking about, and then we'll get into specs, and then we'll get into a future iPhone launch. But look at this right here. Let me show you some more pictures here, right? Let me show you a couple more pictures, and we'll jump into something else. I think that was the same one, no? So here's a close-up. Price hikes. The 18 Pro and Pro Max are going to see a price hike. This is not a rumor. It's essentially set in stone. How much, we don't know, but it's due to the rising cost in memory. That's should be no surprise. But it's also getting as I mentioned, a variable aperture camera. Now this is something not that common in cell phones. I think it was on an old phone, like a random Samsung Galaxy S10 or S8. I can't remember which one, but this is an all new variable aperture camera that's going to be made by Samsung. So you can also expect the variable aperture camera to be implemented in future Samsung devices as well. The variable aperture camera upgrade can bring in up to 50% more light, but also be 50% more costly than the previous lens sensor from the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max series. So your price is going to get a little higher, but you are going to see, I think, a noticeable difference, a noticeable upgrade in the camera department. Most people say, the iPhones are the best cameras, this and that. Again, I don't think so, but apparently Apple wants to take it to another level. And I think that's where the industry is headed in a whole. Like, you're going to see Apple put these variable aperture cameras on their iPhones. You're going to see Samsung do it on their flagships, who knows, in a year or two. And I think you'll see Motorola put them on their flagships, Oppo put them on their flagships. I think this will be a common thing here in the next couple of years, a few years. Now, the inclusion of Apple's first 2 nanometer chip, the A20, the Bionic A20 Pro chipset, it's going to be produced by TSMC, and guess what? Also contributes to the rise in the cost. And they pass the rise in cost down to the consumer. So what's new, right? Now, you are going to see Samsung raise the cost of their phones as well. The only reason why they didn't raise the price on their most sold product, the base S26 Ultra, the base storage model, is because Apple didn't raise their prices. Now, the Apple's going to raise the prices a little bit. Samsung says, oh, Apple's going to do it? Well, then it's okay if we do it. They love to copy Apple. Now, how much of an upgrade, how much of a price increase do I think this is going to be? To be honest with you, I think 50, but I think 50, but at first thought, I think 50. But knowing Apple, it's probably going to be close to 100, and that's per device, per model. In fact, they might even raise the prices higher on the higher storage models. The higher the memory variants are, the higher the price increase I think you're going to see, because Apple's notorious for doing that. Way overcharging for memory upgrades, and that just does not go to iPhones. That goes to MacBooks, to iPads, anything. So I think with the 1 terabyte models, you could see a probably $200 increase, to be honest with you. I think it'll go anywhere from $50 to $200 depending on what model you get. So we'll obviously have to wait and see. I don't know if that information will leak before these launch. Typically they're pretty tight-lipped with what gets out. I'm actually surprised these kind of got out, but I don't know. What color do you think looks best? If I had to get one over, got a wireless mic. If I had to get one over, let's see. If I had to get, which unfortunately I think I probably will. I don't even use this stupid iPhone. I'd rather have something else. Anyways, I'll probably get the damn, I don't know. I'm not going to get the cherry red. Definitely not going to get cherry red. I'll probably get the blue. Although I've never had a black iPhone. So maybe I'll get that. Because I got a black S26 Ultra. Go all black this year. I might go back to all black. It's been a few years, but it looks pretty cool. It would either be the black or the blue. Maybe even the white or the silver. You know, that black would show scratches. Maybe the black one's not the one to get, because you know these things are aluminum. They dent easy. They scratch easy. The scratches are going to show fairly easy on a black aluminum phone. I think it would scratch up like a tin can. So maybe that's not the one to get. Probably the best one to get if you're concerned about scratches and dents and showing some wear and tear is the white one or the silver one, because the color of aluminum is a silver color. And, you know, if you scratch it up a little here, a little there, probably not going to be able to tell that much depending on how deep that groove is in that scratch. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We shall wait and see. Here's a little quick look at the specifications. Well, let me take this off of here. Now, this is the iPhone 18 Pro. 6.3-inch LTPO OLED display, 120 hertz ProMotion. Newsflash, it's only really like 83 hertz. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't think I've tested this one, but every iPhone that say they have ProMotion is only like 80 hertz. That's why they feel slow as molasses. It's probably goes into why I don't like using iOS devices, because it just feels like it's just slow. It's just, I like super fast, lightning fast operations. iPhone, they like to take their time. Should be called slow motion and not ProMotion. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll test this one to see, but we'll have to test it when it gets out. Biometrics, you're going to get under display Face ID system, leading to a much smaller removed dynamic island. The dynamic island will be smaller, but I don't think Gemini is right on this. I think they're just reducing the island. They're not going to go fully under display this year. So shame on you, Google. Shame on you, Gemini. I don't believe this is legit right here, because we're not honestly going to see that until the iPhone 20, their 20th anniversary edition iPhone. That's going to be completely under the display. But this year's dynamic island will be smaller. But again, I think they're literally just shrinking the island. I think you're still going to get these same sensors up front. Let's see, you're getting that A20 chip, 12 gigs of RAM. You're getting the C2 modem by Apple. I would like to see how this handles connectivity. Had a little rough start with the C1, not going to lie. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing gets out of the gates. Should be, I've heard from insiders, it's much improved. So what did I tell y'all the other day? Probably not the best bet to get the first generation of something, because there's always issues, problems that don't get ironed out like in the first gen. It takes, you know, a whole bunch of your product to be sold, getting to the masses, because they can test as much as they want, but until you sell like 10 million phones, you really don't know kind of like what common problems pop up that you did not anticipate from the very beginning. And then they iron out those issues rolling into the second generation. So I think that's what we're going to see with their second version of their modem. So kind of anticipating that. That's probably the main thing I'm looking forward to, if anything, on iPhone, because y'all know I'm not a big iPhone fan. I want to see how that tests out. I guess the new camera system maybe, but even if I do get one, it's not going to get much usage. At this point, you're looking at triple 48 megapixel sensors, battery 5000, 5200. It's essentially going to be a refresh with a new camera, a new colors, and a new CPU and a new modem, and that's about it. And I think on the the Pro Max, that information we're looking at here and right now, you're getting storage options up to 2 terabytes. Again, 12 gigs of RAM, A20 chip, 6.9-inch LTPO. Okay, 120 hertz slow motion. See, here they have it a little bit better. Expected to feature a slightly smaller dynamic island. See, now Gemini, I know you're listening somewhere out there in AI land. You need to change your specs for the Pro model, because on the 18 Pro, you said the front-facing selfie camera is going to be under the display. That's not the case. You got it right on the Pro Max. Expected to feature a slightly smaller dynamic island. I promise I did not look at this before. I just Googled it and threw it up there on my tabs. Same stuff, right? Now, 48 megapixel. This one says another 48 megapixel, and then a 64 megapixel sensor setup. For the third lens, we shall see. But you know, iPhone is an iPhone. Boring. So, what else do we have here? Moving into the future, look at this. Well, we briefly talked about the iPhone 20, the 20th anniversary edition. Y'all all know, well, maybe you don't, but just to wrap that up real quick so we can move into this iPhone 21, the 20th anniversary edition. Now, this is not going to be on all 4 iPhones. They're going to put out a special phone model. It's going to be their 20th anniversary edition, and they're going to put on all these commercials. Ads are going to pop up all over your phone. They're going to be on all these NFL commercials. It's just this one model, but they'll have others, right? Like a Pro Max, but they're going to have a specific model called their whatever 20th anniversary. I don't know what the hell they're going to call it, but it's going to be special because it's going to be all screen. All these sensors up front that's in the dynamic island is going to go away. All these sensors are going to go under the display. And it's going to have a quad nano curved display. So it's going to be slightly curved on the top and bottom, the screen, slightly curved on the left and right. It's going to look like you're holding just a display. You're not going to see any border or anything around it. That's the 20 special edition. And with this news coming out of this iPhone 21, saying could get a major ultra wide angled camera upgrade through technology shift, bringing 200 megapixel capture, 8K video recording, and more. Holy crap. So this iPhone 21 is rumored to adopt a chip on board, a COB technology for its ultra wide angle cameras, replacing the current flip chip method. This shift is expected to resolve heat dissipation issues, potentially enabling the integration of multiple 200 megapixel sensors. The new technology could also pave the way for 8K video recording capabilities on the iPhone 21. It would be a complete joke if they had multiple 200 megapixel sensors, all this new camera tech, and did not record in 8K, while Samsung's been doing it for years. COB technology, as I mentioned earlier, it offers improved optical precision and better heat management. I just said that. So, pretty interesting. Something to potentially look forward to. May or may not want to upgrade. If you have an iPhone 17 series, honestly don't see the point. In fact, you can make a case and say that the base iPhone 17 is the best model out of all of them to get. Because I think the only thing they were holding back on the base model was their ProMotion, also known as slow motion. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but doesn't the base iPhone 17, don't they have ProMotion now? That's essentially the only, I mean, why spend hundreds of dollars more when you can get away with the base model? I think it's pretty good now if you're an iPhone user. So we'll have to wait and see. And again, there's not really a point to upgrade every year. So maybe you're looking at an iPhone 21 to upgrade, right? It's still a couple years away, or a few years away. It seems like Apple wants to throw in multiple 200 megapixel sensors. Where have you seen that before? Oppo. You think Apple got a, you think they bought a, they all pitched in to buy a Oppo Find X9 Ultra just to examine and see how they can do that with their phones? I'm sure they did. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait for the prices to come down a little bit. The X10 Pro is about just right around the corner. So if I got an X9 Pro, it wouldn't be a bummer by any means. But if the X10 Pro is coming out next month, you might just wait for that. Or the X9 Ultra, prices are still pretty freaking high. Are they going to come down? I don't know. I might try to find a good deal, but they are expensive. So I think I'm not going to say no. I would like to say yes. It just has to be the right time or like, you know, the right price, honestly. But yeah, I'm always looking. So if I do come across one, I'll probably will get one. I do want one though. You hope the dark cherry does not look purple or pinkish. Yeah, you've seen those iPhones turning colors, right? Like this one I think was turning a little pink. What time is it? I gotta get out of here soon. I think depending on what lighting you look at this in, it turns pink. Huh. Whatever. I know. I hope they don't. Hopefully, again, with the second version of stuff, maybe they'll come up with a color scheme that doesn't go from orange to pink, right? Imagine how much a 2 terabyte iPhone 18 Pro Max. North of $2,000, I would think. I mean, what are they now? 16? I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest with you. You know, we might have to I'm gonna do a poll. That's a good thought there. Question. Do you think the 2 terabyte iPhone 18 Pro Max is going to be priced, or check this out? What if they price it at $19.99, and then 99 cents or something, like $1 or a penny right under $2,000? Oh, we didn't go over 2,000. Really? Do you think Samsung will integrate HBM4? I know that's what their intended plans are. I just don't know if they're gonna actually do it. I hope so. But I would like to say yes, but with how the whole Exynos thing is going, I just don't know. I know they want to, and I know that's their goal. I just don't know if they can, and they can produce. They are producing. I just don't know if they can produce that much, and that's the problem, is in volume, right? In volume, because remember, they sell a ton of these phones too, millions of these phones too. So we'll just have to wait and see once, you know, here and maybe in a few months we'll go back and see how their heat is it high bandwidth memory generation 4. Yeah, I know they have that new heat pass block that they're implementing in the Exynos CPUs, that's, you know, having some production issues, but I hope so. They better bring it this year. But just to give you an answer, I'll just say yes. But I think that's only going to be in the Ultra and the Pro. I don't think they're going to put that in the base model or the Plus model. Yeah. Yeah, it would just be Ultras or the Pro for sure. It does? Okay. That's the one to get, honestly, because I don't see, it's the same freaking phone, you know? This one has an extra camera, but whatever. I don't value IP6A ratings as much as others in ingress protection in general, since just they don't cover water damage and warranty. Yeah. What about, you don't value IP6A ratings? What about IP69? Or what is it? IP69K? Because I've actually, well, when the OnePlus 15 first came out last year, I did a lot of not videos, but like behind the scenes, I did a lot of research, because remember, we're like, what IP69, what the hell is that? Pretty impressive, but you're right. So why don't they, yeah, that'll void your warranty, right? The water, that little square paper, if it turns pink, you're screwed. I mean, I guess they got to put ratings on it just to save their ass, but I get what you're saying, though. I definitely do. Appreciate the time. Thank you. Yeah, we're about to roll up on out of here. You're Michael saying, I guess it does prove it survived submission, but those are extremely controlled conditions. They're in laboratories. In fact, regular wear and tear can cause the IP6 rating to stop working without some, wear and tear, especially if you don't use a case, and that'll definitely shift. And all you need is a hairline shift, and there goes your water protection. So I see your point. Yeah, that's true. I get, well, not on all my phones. I guess I was saying I get insurance on all my phones, but that would not be true. I get insurance on foldables, and then I get insurance through Samsung, but like OnePlus and Motorola, no insurance. So I got to be a little extra careful depending on what device I'm using. But I think the IP69 rating, maybe it's a little cool little spec you can add on there that says, well, mine's got IP69. I mean, does it matter that much? In my life, in my real world, it does not matter that much. I don't go scuba diving. I'm not in high pressure jet areas. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really doesn't matter to me. And honestly, to most people, it doesn't matter. So I think a lot of times it is bragging rights. But if you work near water, might be something to think about. But average office 9 to 5 in gym life, probably doesn't matter. But I'm going to get out of here. I do appreciate the time. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. I am streaming on Facebook as well. So if you're watching this on Facebook, come on over to YouTube, eSIM Studios, subscribe to the channel, and follow me if you are watching this on Facebook, because normally we do a bunch of giveaways. So I didn't have one scheduled for today, but I think we did the last 6 out of 7 days we had giveaways. So maybe we'll do them tomorrow. Hell, I don't know. But that's why you got to subscribe so you get notified when we do go live. And did quite a few pop-up flash giveaways this last week. So anyways, have a good evening. Enjoy your time. Please be safe. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.